On June 18th, 2025, Nintendo released Mario Kart World patch 1.1.1, which mostly consisted of bug fixes. That day, I made a tweet jokingly called patch 1.1.2, which listed a bunch of fake changes to the game, one of which being that when you select random online, it now results in a connector track being chosen. This was in reference to the fact that when you play online, the game normally gives you a bunch of connector tracks to choose from. Sometimes it'll give you a 3-lap version of a track, but most of the time it doesn't. And if you wanted to guarantee that that happens, you could choose random as a workaround because that would guarantee a 3-lap version of a track. Now, when I first made this post, I purposely picked the most brain-dead, idiotic crap that I could think of because I wanted to make it clear that the post was a joke. Well, patch 1.1.2 just dropped, and would you believe it, Nintendo actually pushed that change to Mario Kart World, meaning that the one option that we actually had to pick the tracks that we wanted to online has now been officially removed from the game. To be clear, selecting random still does give you a chance at getting a random 3-lap version of a track, but it seems to be the case that now what it does is it gives you a 1 in 4 chance of getting a 3-lap track, and then a 3 in 4 chance of picking one of the 3 connector tracks that normally shows up on the track select screen. Now, I've been working on getting my thoughts together in a full review for some time now, and the reason why it's taking so long is because my thoughts on the game are pretty complex. And there are some things that I really love about Mario Kart World, but there's also quite a few things that I really hate. And one of the things that I hate is just how often Nintendo is trying to force us to play on these connector tracks that take you from one course to another and only give you the opportunity to play on one lap of a course, as opposed to playing a full 3-lap version of a track itself. Remember how I voiced my concerns about this 2 months ago when Nintendo first showed us how these connecting segments were going to look in Grand Prix and Knockout Tour? Well, I'm unfortunately not pleased to report that my concerns were not only 100% valid, but that they ended up being somehow worse than I initially feared. Not only is there absolutely nothing to do on these parts of the track, not only do red shells and blue shells follow you on rails, meaning that there's almost no point to ever taking them because they're usually slower than just being on the main track, but mushrooms are now completely overpowered, and there's so many off-road shortcuts that it means that there's basically no skill involved in the connector segments until you actually get to the main track itself. And this is why when you're playing online, you'll often see 60 to 70% of the player base selecting random as opposed to selecting one of the tracks. And obviously I can't speak for anyone else, but at least for me, one of the main reasons why I love playing online so much in 8 Deluxe is that yes, while item luck was still really important, I always felt like my driving skill mattered, even if it didn't matter as much as I would have liked it to. At the end of the day, Mario Kart World is a racing game, and there's a lot of really fun driving tech that Nintendo has given us access to that's infinitely more satisfying to execute online than just sitting back and trying to golden mushroom your way into first place. And that's why I can't begin to understand Nintendo's motivations for removing the one option that we actually had to play the tracks the way that we want to. People just don't like these connector tracks very much. And it's obvious that a lot of love and care went into the individual tracks themselves, so why won't Nintendo let us play them? I don't get it. You can't really play them in Grand Prix outside of the first track in a cup. Knockout Tour is literally designed around you not playing them, and now with patch 1.1.2, we basically have no option for reliably playing the tracks online either. Unless, of course, you want to choose between only playing with your friends online or getting your nuts smashed in lounge. Look, I'm not trying to be rude here, and I'm really not exaggerating when I say that this might actually be one of the worst changes that I've ever seen to any video game that I've ever played. And there's already a lot of things about Mario Kart World's design that make me really frustrated and really bother me a lot, but this patch is honestly so bad that it makes me wonder whether or not I even want to keep playing the game anymore. Because here's the thing, right? Like, my channel has always occupied this kind of weird niche where it's targeted at people that want to get better at the game, but also aren't necessarily trying to be the sickest of sick, nasty competitive players online, right? Like, that's what basic training is. When I go over the strategies in my personal best, I go over them in detail specifically because I think that they are usually at a level that the average person could replicate or even beat given enough practice. And they're not designed to give you time trial world records. They're designed to give you the tools that you can realistically use online to succeed against other people, whether they be your own friends or whether they be against a random person that you encounter in a regional or worldwide lobby. But if Nintendo isn't going to actually give us an opportunity to use those skills online against other people, then it's almost almost like, what's even the point? Anyways, look, the reason why I'm so upset about this is that I genuinely think Mario Kart World is a good game. I think it's a great game, and I think it has the potential. Like, I can see the vision, right? It has all of the tools, it has all of the things that it needs to be the best game in the series, like hands down, easily. But, you know, there's just so many stupid things that don't need to be there, like removing individual lap splits in time trials, or removing the option to turn off items when you're playing offline, which makes speedrunning the game an absolute nightmare as well, by the way. And it's just, I want to love the game, but the game doesn't seem to want to be loved, and I find it incredibly frustrating as somebody who has had Mario Kart 8 be a mainstay of my life for the better part of like half a decade now, right? But I'm not giving up hope yet. I'm gonna reach out to Nintendo support and let them know what my thoughts are on the patch, and I encourage you all to do that as well. Obviously be respectful, because nothing's gonna happen if you're a huge dick to them, but just be cool. And if you don't like the patch, let them know why, and let them know that you'd like more options for playing the individual tracks online, and just, you know, be respectful about it, because I'm sure that with enough support, we can really make something happen here. At least I hope that's not just cope. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for today, everyone. I really hope we can make something happen here, and I'm sorry for accidentally killing Mario Kart World with my joke tweet. But yeah, let's get it fixed. I really think that we can make something happen here, and I do actually think that this game has the potential to be incredible, and it's really holding itself back. And I think that with some love and care from Nintendo, it really can be amazing. So let's all try and make that happen. But yeah, thanks again for watching, everybody, and I will catch you all in the next one.